On this vote, the yeas are 286 and the nays are 138. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
That's what victory looks like. After months of GOP delay and obstruction, the House finally renewed the Violence Against Women Act, sending it to President Obama to sign into law. Republicans had fought for months against the law because it expanded protections for Native Americans and members of the LGBT community. That's the GOP in a nutshell, opposing a law because it protects more people from violence. This shouldn't have been controversial. Today, 138 Republicans in the House still voted against the Violence Against Women Act. But back in 2005, just 2 Republicans voted no on renewing the law. Just 2. It was happily signed into law by Republican President George W. Bush. Back in 2000, just 1 Republican in the House voted against renewing the law. From 1 vote to 138, the majority of the party, that's how extreme the Republican Party has become. Joining me now is our passionate voice for women's rights, Congresswoman Jackie Spear from California. Congresswoman, congratulations on the vote today.
Thank you, Reverend Al.
How could so many Republicans, though, oppose for so long?
You know, as much as we were applauding on the House floor today, it took 14 months to get this bill passed and ready to be signed into law, when it has been automatic, as you pointed out, virtually automatic previously, and that's because it's got a proven record of success. We've seen that as a result of VAWA being the law of the land, we've seen a reduction in the number of cases of domestic violence reduced by 60%. We've seen an increase in reporting, and we've seen the number of women who've died as a result of domestic violence attacks drop by 30%. So why wouldn't we want to just rush to reauthorize it?
Especially when you have done it twice before. And the extreme swing of this party to the far right, from only 1 vote opposing it in 2000 to 138 today, it also parallels that 25 states enacted 42 anti-choice measures. And when we look at the map this year, there are 19 states with anti-choice governors and Republican state legislatures. Republicans claim that there's no war against women, but GOP lawmakers are trying to roll back abortion rights all across the country, Congresswoman.
You know, one of the worst, and there are many, but among the very worst, are giving immunity to physicians that violate their professional conduct by not sharing important information with their patient about the condition of the fetus. I mean, how much more twisted can they get in their approach?
And another thing that bothers me is that just today, while you were finally getting this delayed victory, Republicans in Arkansas, in the state Senate there, was actually overriding the governor's veto on the abortion bill. The Arkansas Senate voted Thursday to override a veto of a near ban of abortion starting in the 20th week of pregnancy, and backed a separate measure that would outlaw the procedures in most cases beginning in the 12th week. This was vetoed by the governor. They overrode that today while you were finally getting a vote in Congress on the Violence Against Women Act.
You know, the irony is that on the one hand, you can argue that these kinds of bills are unconstitutional, and our Republican colleagues are quick to say, but we don't want to do anything that's not constitutional. Look at what we want to do in terms of guns. You got to protect our Second Amendment rights, and yet here you have them clearly wanting to just violate the Constitution, doing so willfully and extremely.
Now, stunning things have been said. In fact, a Republican state lawmaker in New Hampshire had to apologize for saying some people like being in abusive relationships and are free to leave. Listen to this.
Some people can make the argument that a lot of people like being in these relationships. It's a love-hate relationship. Is the solution to those kind of dysfunctional relationships going to be more government and then the law? I tend to say no. People are always free to leave.
I mean, these are amazing statements from elected leadership.
You know, these are people that are so ignorant that they have probably never heard of the battered woman syndrome, which has in fact been documented over and over again. Women who are in domestic violent relationships oftentimes are so battered, so excluded from society, can't even go out, that they have nowhere to go, or their children are at stake if they were to leave. So this is an individual who is truly ignorant.
Well, Congresswoman Spear, congratulations again.
Thank you.
For your victory, and thanks for your time tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.